Hello everyone, my name is Sophie and welcome to Bookhater Club episode 3. Yes, we're at episode 3 of my little podcast that we're doing here. I'm so excited to be here right from the start, as you can hear, or maybe you can't, but if you can't, I'm going to tell you. I've been sick for the past week and I'm still not 100% healthy again, so my voice is still a little rough. I apologize. I wanted to wait until I'm healthy to make this video because I think it's kind of annoying when people are sick and they're talking. It kind of gets me infuriated. Like, I can't listen to people when they're sick. So this is gonna be fun to edit. But I'm not gonna be editing much because it's a podcast, so I just want to talk, like, off the top of my head. But I wanted to make this video because I've been annoyed. And I I have to get it out. But of course I accept all of your well wishes. I feel like I'm sick so often. I used to never be sick, but for some reason, since the pandemic, I've just been getting sick so often. But I feel fine. Like, I feel a little sick, but I feel fine. But the only topic that we will be talking about today is Aster, the author of Lightlark, and nothing else, because as much as I love doing 2-hour videos, and I hope you like watching them too, I don't want to lose my voice again, because I do want to get healthy at some point. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter video. Shorter episode. I don't even know if you can call it the podcast episode, but you know I talk out of my ass, so it's probably going to be longer anyway. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say, actually. That's the perfect intro. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sophie. I post book rants, and you can check out my channel. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. 3 are missing, actually. I'm going to check, and I'm so excited. And also my Instagram, I can't get into my Instagram in case you're following me on Instagram. I don't know why, I'm locked out of it, and I've been trying to, maybe I was hacked. Like, but nothing, like, I can't look at it from my other account, and nothing's wrong with it. I just can't get into it. So, if you've sent me a message and I haven't replied to you and you're like, what the fucking bitch? It's not, I am a bitch, but that's, like, I'm not ignoring you, I can't get into my account, but I'm trying to figure it out. You can still follow me on Instagram, it's honestly Sophie YT, same on TikTok, and I'm really cute and funny, so you should follow me, and then once I get back into it, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let you know on Instagram, I'm going to be like, hey guys, I'm back, I don't know what the issue is. But that's why you should do 2-step verification, because I did not do that. Does anyone do that? Like, let's be fucking real. Just a little update on my life. I'm sick. It's not COVID, it's just sick, which is like a little bit like boring, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm glad I don't have COVID, but you know what I mean? And so I was calling with someone from work today. I've been really annoyed about work because they don't schedule me in, and like, I don't want to go work because I only work to get money, you know? But because I'm a cashier, it's so fucking but no one actually likes their work, except if they're literally like an author or something, like the person we're talking about today. Like, if they're doing their dream job, but like most people just go to work to make money, and so it's the same with me. And a person from work called me today and was like, you don't have to come in on Saturday, which is the only day I'm scheduled. And I said, you are aware that that's the only day I'm scheduled? And he's like, yeah, we're enough people. And I told him, well, then I'm not gonna work this week. And he said, yeah, but don't come in. And I was like, bitch, I want to make money. And then for the next 2 weeks, I'm also just scheduled 1 day a week. And I'm like, as much as that's fun, and because I have more time for uni and stuff, and for my YouTube channel, which I did tell him, because like, he doesn't know. Why the fuck would I tell him? Like, I want to make money. And he's like, well, yeah, but we're enough people. I was like, okay, whatever, I'm not going to argue, because he's not my boss. He's like someone else. I was like, I'm going to argue with my boss when he's back from fucking holiday, from vacation. I picked up the phone, it was this morning. He was like, hey Sophie, did you just get up? And I was like, no, I'm sick. And then he goes, well, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you call in that you were sick? And I was like, bitch, it's Thursday and I'm scheduled for Saturday. Now I don't even need to come in? Like, why the fuck would I tell you that I'm sick? Because I would come in on Saturday. It's Thursday. I'm going to be healthy by Saturday. Please. I don't really know, guys. So that's what's going on in my life at the moment. I'm also going to uni, and I'm currently reading Kingdom of the Wicked. But it's not, like, I have nothing to say about it so far, because I've only read, like, the first 2 chapters. I'm so sorry. I'm, like, not into reading at the moment. But that's why we're doing this podcast episode, so I'm still here to talk, because Aster is getting on my last fucking nerve. And I don't know if she, like, watches. If you're watching, why? Like, click off. Do yourself a favor and click off. This is for the readers. This is not for the author. You know, it's just the same as with fucking authors in reviewer spaces when they look at people who've reviewed their book. Don't look at that. Like, It's none of your, like, it's part of your business because, like, you wrote the book and people are reviewing it. But if they go into the 1-star reviews and they're like, oh my god, they start picking fights, it's like, this is not for you. This is us informing other readers. This is not us informing you. Like, you keep doing you. You're making money. Peace and love. I feel like I sound so annoying with my sick voice. Do I sound more annoying? I feel like I do to myself. I'm like, I could really sound American if I tried. No, I don't know how Americans sound. Anyway, let's talk about Alex Aster. The reason I'm talking about her today is because she's been trending since her book, well, since before her book released, okay? Which is Lightlark. I don't know, you can comment how many people actually know of her. Like, you should comment if you don't know about her. Not if you know about her, because, like, that's not interesting, but if you don't know about her. Because I feel like everyone knows about her at this point, even if they haven't read Lightlark. Like, they know who this woman is. And this is, like, something that will come up multiple times in this video. Every publicity is good publicity. Like, even if it's bad publicity, it's good marketing. It's good publicity. It's good for her. Even if I'm talking shit about her now, you're still gonna be like, oh, maybe I knew about her, maybe I didn't know about her, and now I know about her and her book, and maybe I do want to check it out. So I'm still kind of giving her a platform now by talking about her, which is the same thing with Colleen Hoover. Though I genuinely don't read Colleen Hoover, bitch. If you don't, okay, we've been over it. Like, I think we all agree with it now. Like, it's weird. She's weird and she sucks. Go watch my first podcast episode, and that's about Colleen Hoover, and I talk about it. So, Alex Aster, she keeps coming onto my For You page, and I am not on booktok. I have a booktok account, and that's on booktok, obviously, but my normal TikTok account, I get the obscure, like, gorilla videos, the gorillas that are in cages and, like, walking around and doing silly things. That's the kind of videos I get in that, or cute cat videos, because my boyfriend's cat, that also happened. My boyfriend's cat just had her first set of babies, which I don't think that was necessary. It's his sister's cat, whatever. We're not gonna argue about breeding everything. I don't agree with it. However, they are cute as fuck. And I want one, and my mom said no. So how do I convince my mom to get a fucking kitten? They're so fucking cute. Gray, one is black, and one is black and white. So gray like the dad, fully black, which is a mix, and then black and white like the mom. I fucking love them. That's also something that happened in my life. And that's the best thing that happened in my life, so I don't know why I didn't mention it. I don't know. I love kittens. I remember when we got his cat, we went and picked it up, and she was a kitten. I was like, I want to squeeze them because they're cute aggression, you know, they're so fucking cute. But that has nothing to do with Alex Aster. So I'm not on booktok. But still, I get her fucking videos. I still fucking get them, and people still talk about her because I was watching videos for my research that I did. For this video. And they are as recent as, like, 1 day old. So people are still talking about her, and there's, like, still drama going on. And if you want to watch more about Alex Aster, because her book came out last year, August. And I posted a review on it, which is over now long, I think. You can watch it. I just got from the hairdresser in that video, kind of came back. I looked into it earlier, like, to see what the fuck I was talking about. And I was really blonde, and I really want to dye my hair again because it's, like, not that blonde anymore. And that is a video that has, like, 10,000 views or 12,000 views at this point on my channel, which is, like, the second most views I've ever gotten on a video. And that video actually got me monetized because I reached 1,000 subscribers with that, and then I got monetized, and now I make money. Thank you for the €5 that I make a month. I love it. I love it. €5 is, like, for me just sitting here and talking shit. I love it. This is my dream job. Like, please keep subscribing. 2,000 subscribers. So this can be my job because I fucking hate being a cashier. Don't tell my work. I love being a cashier. Beep, beep, beep. Would you like to pay card or cash? I'm a really good worker, okay? I've worked many jobs. I've never been fired from a job. I've worked many jobs still, and I've done a good job at all of them. I'm a really good worker. I feel like it's getting really dark. Whatever. Listen, my nose is, like, super red from all of the because it's really stuffed and I have to blow it. Not blow. I wish I could be blowing, but I have to blow my nose. So I didn't put anything on it, and I think if it's dark you can't really tell, and also I look like shit because I've been sick for the past week, you know? I need a shower, I need a pedicure, I need a manicure. Can I get to the fucking topic? I uploaded my review of Lightlark, and that really grew my channel, and I'm really thankful for that. Thank you, Alex Aster. Thank you. And I will be, for everyone who's wondering, I will be reading the second book, Nightbane. I know what it's called now. But yeah, her drama is recent. And if you want to watch more about this, I watched Swell Entertainment's video and Reads by Rachel or with Rachel. I'm not sure. I don't watch them normally, because I don't really watch book content normally. But when I was doing my research, I saw they both did videos on them, and I really liked them, those videos. And I'm someone who, if I have something that I like watching multiple videos on it, like German reality TV. There's a bunch of people who do reactions to that, and I will watch every single fucking reaction to that. Even if I don't like the person reacting, I will watch it. So I watched the episode like 6 different times because 6 different people are reacting to it. I don't know if anyone else is like that. Maybe that's like just me being neurodivergent, undiagnosed, that I just watch like the same content just commented by different people. I don't really know, but I would suggest you can also watch those, and of course watch my review and watch this video. And now I'm gonna get a ring light out. How about that? Because I feel like you can't see me. Is that better? I don't know. Oh my god. I just saw myself in the mirror. Girl, you're busted. Anyway, please don't judge me, okay? Like, I'm really not feeling that great, so I did my best. I did my hair, like, I saw someone on Instagram do it like that, and I was like, I can't do that, but I think I look like I could beat someone up. Which, if you watched my last review of The Fight and Night by Bridget Camera, offer still stands. I want to fight. Alex Aster is the author of Lightlark. She's actually called Alex Pearson, but her book name is Alex Aster. Now that I blew my nose, my ears closed. I can't hear myself, so I might be really screaming out. However, she's a twin, by the way, which I just found out. She's an identical twin. Her sister looks just like her, which is usual when it's identical twins. And for everyone concerned, she is a Leo. She is a Leo, and I don't really know anything about Leos. I just know that they have like a big ego. And I think that fits. Like, she seems to be having a really big ego. Comment below. What are bad things about Leos? Let's judge people by their star sign. I'm kidding. Don't send any hate toward Alex or anyone else. Any of her fans. Okay? Don't do it. No hate. We're just judging here, but not on her page. So, what is her story? This is interesting. She is, I don't know how old she is. She's like 27 or 20. I think she's turning 28 this year, I think. And she has told her story on TikTok. She has said that by the time that she was in college, she had written 5 books. And they got rejected hundreds of times, which she has said in multiple instances that they had been rejected hundreds of times, but I think that's just her exaggerating. Giving her the benefit of the doubt, she's just exaggerating, because like hundreds of times is a lot of times. They must really be shit, you know, and this is something we'll get back to, because her books is actually shit. So she got by the way, I'm looking down on my notes, okay, don't judge. She got a literary agent, which I don't know what that means, but she said that. So it's just an agent for her books, probably. I don't really know anything about publishing, so this is literally just me being judgmental without knowing anything. Sorry. I mean, I gotta be honest, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you my opinion on everything, but at the end of the day, I haven't published a book. I'm not in the industry. Maybe I'm gonna get into the industry at some point, because I do study marketing, but maybe not, you know? Maybe I'm gonna go into finance. Who says what I'm gonna do? Maybe I'm gonna quit all of my jobs and just do rant reviews 24/7. She got her agent when she graduated from college, but they didn't manage to sell her book for a long time that she wrote. If you're wondering what university she went to, because she is American, I think her mom is Colombian and her dad is American. They're from Florida. And we're gonna get to her family because it's really interesting. She went to an Ivy League school, which even I know what that is, because for some reason, I don't know if other Europeans, all of my Europeans watching this, or non-Americans watching this, if they also had a phase where they would watch on YouTube, there's compilations of college acceptances. I would watch those, and I would love it. And I didn't know what it fucking meant, because I don't get America. I don't get why you have to pay like $1 million to go to college. Like, what is the reason for that? I don't really know, because I pay 100 euros per semester. But why do you pay $100 million per 3 years? I don't really know. So, or one semester, they're paying $1 million per semester. It feels like, at least. Like, everyone's fucking poor. Not Alex Aster. Why? I'll talk about it. She went to an Ivy League. And I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry. Like, I have cough brain. I have the flu brain. She went to UPenn, which I don't know what that is, because in my head, Ivy League schools were like Stanford, Harvard, Yale, UCLA, and that's it. Berkeley. I don't know. You know, the ones that keep coming up, but I did watch a lot of acceptance, but that was when I was like 14 or something. I was like, oh my god, cool, that's so cool, like acceptances. But then I found out you had to write like essays for every college application about like something important that happened to you, and they would ask you like a different question. I'm like, who the fuck cares? Like, no one's fucking reading that. Same with essays in college. I cannot believe my professors are actually reading that. Like, I know, like, no hate, like, I'm not saying they're not reading it, but I just, like, if I were a professor, I wouldn't be reading that shit. So she went to UPenn, and I don't know what UPenn is, because I didn't know that was a fucking Ivy League. I don't know if that means, like, Pennsylvania, because, like, Pennsylvania in my head, it sounds like Transylvania, which makes me think of Dracula, the vampire. Edward Cullen? I don't really know. So she herself said she graduated with a perfect GPA. All of my Americans are like, GPA. They're like starting to sweat, like shaking in their boots. I don't know what the fuck a GPA is. She has said herself she graduated with a perfect GPA. So what is a perfect GPA? Like a 4.0? But like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. You explain it to me. Like, I'm not going to do any fucking research on colleges now. This is not what this is about. But that must mean, the way I understood, that she's really smart. And I think she graduated in like a literature program. I actually didn't look up what she graduated, but I think it's like literature, English literature or something. Like she majored in that or whatever with a perfect GPA. So she must have been like, I graduate with honors, like Nicki Minaj, you know what I mean? She got a shout out from Obama, maybe? I don't really know. So, she sold her first book in 2018. At that point, she must have been like 23. And it was published in 2020. So, it took 2 years to get published. And it flopped. It was a total flop. It was called The Emblem Island duology. It's a duology for middle grade children. Like a middle grade novel. And it's interesting because a lot of people who have heard about Alex by watching her TikToks also, they don't know that she has another series. I think at this point people know, but when she started promoting Lightlark, people didn't know. And if you go into her TikTok now, because I watched a bunch of her fucking TikToks, guys, which was so unnecessary, and I'll talk about it, but she never talks about that duology, because it was a flop, probably, but it's not like this was her debut novel. It was her debut young adult novel, because she's written middle grade before, but it's not like she has never been published before. She was an established author. She got the rights to that as a hardback. There was an audiobook, and also she sold the movie deals. So it was established, okay? It's not like this wasn't a big deal. Even if it flopped, it's not like this wasn't a big deal. And she never talks about it, which is interesting. Why don't you not talk about it? I don't really know. Maybe we'll find out as this video progresses. She got a new agent, and almost every publisher rejected Lightlark. She was pitching it to the fucking agents or whatever, not to the agents, to the publishers, and then she said that only 2 publishers were left, and she was desperate. She was desperate to get it published because she's been writing it since she was like 15 or 12. I don't really know. Her stories change a lot. Those stories she tells, she changes them up a lot. It was down to 2 publishers to publish Lightlark. I don't know how many publishers there are. Because, like, how do you know there's only 2 left? Like, okay, so, whatever. Only 2 were left, and she was really trying to get it published, so out of desperation, she decided to publish a TikTok about it. And it was published in March of 2021. And then, no, it was announced in pitch. Did I say pitch? I don't know what I said. It was pitched in March 2021. She posted that TikTok in March and said, would you read a book? I know it by heart now. Would you read a book about an island that appears every 100 years, where 6 rulers have to fight to lift their deadly curses, and one has to die, and Isla Crown has to lie, betray, and cheat? She talks like, she makes the same TikTok over and over again, and it's always this like blurb. Okay, it's always the same things she says, and people were like, yes, I would read that, whoa, and she put like generic Pinterest photos. Yes, I would read that, that's the best book I've ever heard. And because of this TikTok, she gets published. She pitched it in March 2021. The publishing is announced in May 2021, and it releases in August of 2022. So a little bit over a year later, the book releases after being announced that it's got a deal. It's got a publishing deal. I don't know if that's a long time or a short time. I mean, she's apparently written it for 10 years. She says this several times, so this is fact. But she fails to mention a few things. I think she's mentioned them, but I'm just going to explain it to you because I didn't really know about this. She actually has a twin sister, as I mentioned earlier. Her name is Danielle or Daniela, I don't really know. And they're identical, twins. And her sister is in an article in Forbes, which I don't know what Forbes magazine is because I don't care about business. And it explains that her sister is worth $220 million, which is like, okay, because this is like, I think the first information that if you look a little bit further into her, you will find out about her twin sister that's literally a self-made millionaire. And the reason she is a self-made millionaire is because she owns a marketing and newsletter agency, or she founded it, and I think she sold it, but she still is a, she still shares like, what, I don't know anything about fucking companies, you know what I mean? She still has like, how do you say it? Stakeholder? Not, she's a shareholder, I think. Not stakeholder, but shareholder. So she still is involved in the company somehow, but I don't think she owns it anymore. I'm not sure though. But doesn't matter because she is worth $220 million. She is a millionaire. Her sister is a millionaire. And she's like the black sheep. She's like broke. No, I'm kidding. She's not broke. Because you know why she's not broke? Her mom and her dad, they own a car dealership. A Toyota car dealership in Florida that's worth multiple $1 million. Her house, her family house, is worth $2.5 million. So it's not like she comes from nothing. She comes from money. Her family is rich. Okay? Now, does this mean that you can just publish any book? Not necessarily. Because people were talking about like, oh, she's an industry plant. She's an industry plant. What's my opinion on that? I don't have one because I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, I can't tell you what if she is or not because I don't know what an industry plant is. I think it just means that she was like pushed on people and she like bought her way into the industry, and because of her connections. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But back to her sister, I didn't notice she also like the sister also has a startup with Selena Gomez about like mental health. I don't really know what they do. I didn't really look into it. Because I didn't care. I was like, Selena Gomez? Why the fuck is her sister? And, like, she's probably met Selena at some point. I'm just speculating, allegedly, okay? Insane. People figured this out, that her sister was a millionaire, and also that her company was a marketing company. So, and newsletter. So she's like in the industry, kind of, not the publishing industry necessarily, but the writing industry, I think. And so people started calling her out for it, and she didn't address it until people started calling her out. And then she would say that her sister had nothing to do with it, with her getting published, and that she did it all by herself. But she very much presented herself always, and still does, as like a person that came from nothing, when she very much came from wealth. And that doesn't mean that she didn't have to work to get her book published. But the book is really bad. And I don't really, like, it's really bad. You know, I have an hour review on it. You can watch it. I explain more there. Because it's been 7 months since I read the book. It's a little bit sussy, okay? Something else that I found out while doing this research is insane to me. Because in 2020, she published her first book and it flopped. And then, I think she was like, trying to find a new job. She actually also tried to have a startup in college. I don't know what this startup was about, but it flopped. Okay? It was like an app for something. And so she was trying to do the same as her sister, maybe. With like a startup, online startup. I mean, her sister has a newsletter startup, or had, because she sold it. But Alex's flopped. And then she published a duology in 2020 that also flopped. And then in 2020, you know what else she did? She published songs. This bitch started singing. And I would play this for you, but copyright and stuff, like, it's a little bit tricky, especially in Germany. They are really strict with their fucking copyright. So you would have to look it up yourself. Her YouTube channel, where she has those songs uploaded, has 800 subscribers. There are 3 songs. 2 of them were pushed on TikTok. And now, this is something you cannot tell me that this was not sponsored by her parents, because who else would it be sponsored by or her sister, but I think it was her parents, because literally, this is insane. She has one song called Divine, and that was her debut song, single, and Addison Rae danced to it, and she said, love this song at by Alex Aster, #Divine, and she does a dance to it, and it has 3.5 million likes. And this is not where it ends. This is not where it ends. This was in March of 2020. And then in November of 2020, Addison Rae posts another TikTok, also again with Alex Aster's song. This time it's the other one. It's called This Is Your, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And it says, Addison Rae is making recommendations for presents in this video. And it says, for a book lover, The Magical Adventure. And the caption says, here's my holiday gift guide featuring small businesses on Amazon, which is like, you're promoting a traditionally published book from Amazon? How is that a small business? Buying from Amazon? Aren't those dropshippers? Duet this with #SupportSmallChallenge for a chance to win all of my picks. #ad. And the dance video didn't have the #ad. This has 3.4 million likes. And it is obviously Curse of the Night Witch or whatever, the first book in the Emblem Island series by Alex Aster, or duology by Alex Aster. This is an ad. She was paid to promote this. I don't think Amazon just decided that this would be the book that she was promoting. Someone paid, someone from Alex's family paid to have this book promoted. Maybe, I don't know when this book came out in 2020. If it was the second half of 2020, after her song released. Maybe she realized she couldn't sing, because you truly have to listen to that one fucking song, This Is Your, because I cannot understand a word she's singing. It's like, and it's like, it's not that she's a bad singer necessarily, but it's very generic and very cursive. Not cursive, but very weird. You have to listen to it. And I'm getting her all those streams on Spotify now. Shout out to me. Super weird. The whole thing is super weird. Addison Rae, no way. She just posted that dance video and said, love this song by Alex Aster. #Divine. And just did this out of her free will. Someone paid her to do that. Peace and love, allegedly. I don't want to get sued, but I think someone paid her to do that. And then, it doesn't stop here. It's not like Addison Rae was the only one. No. Bella Porch, who's also really popular, said, she replied to a comment that said overrated and said, reply to blah blah, at Alex Aster, your song makes me happy. And it's, You Think You're, the other song that's weird. They're all generic songs, that would go popular on TikTok because they have generic lyrics. You know what I'm talking about. This video has 1.7 million likes. And it's about her but this was in December of 2020. So she was still trying with her music career, but after 2020 she stopped. Because probably in March in May, she got the book deal, so she was like, okay, we can drop the singing, because it wasn't going anywhere. But she was really trying to get into any industry. She was just really trying to become famous, I feel like, for anything. She didn't care. Startup didn't work. Singing didn't work. Book? Fuck yeah. We're doing books. Because apparently nowadays with TikTok, anyone can publish anything. And I'm still saying, I'm going to publish my own book at some point that's going to be so fucking generic. You're going to be shaking your head and rolling your eyes the whole fucking time. But I'm going to make hundreds of euros from that. Because people on TikTok booktok are going to eat it up. Because they eat anything up. We talked about her music career, her failed music career, which is something I was not aware of until literally today. And I think this is so funny. Do you don't think it's funny that she tried that? I think that shows that she was really just trying to get somewhere by all means necessary, okay? And I mean this with peace and love, because girl, do you, you're hustling, you're trying to find something that works, but nothing is working. So, Lightlark is now pitched in March, announced to be published in May, and then released in August of 2020. She starts promoting the book on TikTok with scenes and quotes, and people are super hyped. Up until the arc started releasing, people were like, oh my god, this is the best book ever. She was promoting it so hard, and she's been promoting it the same way for like a year. She still posts so many TikToks, and she also posts her TikTok on Instagram, or her TikToks on Instagram, and I think that her sister must have something to do with this. Like, even if she didn't pay her, she must be saying, you have to do this to do like marketing. And any marketing is good marketing. Like, any publicity is good publicity. Even if people are annoyed by you, they still know your book. Like, they can still quote the blurb off the top of their head. So you must be doing something right. But at the end of the day, it's like, the question is, how much is it worth? You know, like, wouldn't you rather write something that's not mediocre and shit? And sometime in 2021, she started letting people vote on her book cover for the first one. And there were two options, and eventually both of them released. And I'm not sure if it was like a special edition or if you take the dust jacket off, but both covers have been released. So I don't really know what the voting was for, if both covers are going to be released anyway. Like, you can buy each, you can have both. So what the fuck was the fucking voting for? She was like, this has never been done before. I was like, okay, if you're going to publish both, what's the fucking point? Just to read out a little bit of the way she advertises, I'm going to read out one of her TikToks. This is from 3rd of March this year. She wrote, when you wrote the first book in the series, not thinking anyone would read it, which is weird because she's been trying to get it published for 10 years and never gave up on it, and then promoted on TikTok and got millions of people to say they're going to read it and are so excited, and she got it sold, and she says, not thinking anyone would read it. But now you're writing the second after it became a major bestseller, is being translated into 18 languages, and is being turned into a movie franchise. And you're just a girl with a computer, typing in your pajamas. And maybe you should mention that it's in a $2.5 million home, and that you probably have like a movie studio and like a cinema room in your basement that no one ever uses. Because for some reason, American houses have that, and I don't really know why. Like, peace and love as a European, and I get like Middle Eastern people are also like this, where they have huge houses. Like, where they go home to their home country and they build huge houses. I know this. Like, I know people in my, how do you say? In my vicinity, I don't really know, like, people around me who have houses in the countries where their parents are from that are huge. They build huge houses because it's a little bit cheaper there, and I don't get huge houses. I never got it. I never got the appeal of that. Why the fuck do I want 10 bedrooms? Who am I having like, I would be fucking scared. There's no need to have, like, I'd rather have a small homey house than a big fucking mansion. Have never gotten big houses, and it's so expensive. You have to clean it. And who's staying over? Who's staying in the tent? Like, except if you're a family of like 25. Like, one, like, close family, not like extended family, like one family. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't get the point of of big houses. Sorry. I'm losing my voice. I said it and it's happening. Oh no, we gotta hurry up. She actually has one TikTok, and this is gonna be mean of me to say, but I thought of this when I watched it, and I'm gonna pull it up now so I can quote it correctly. Listen, I'm still on her TikTok when I open it. And the you know, now that I've watched so many TikToks, I am on booktok. I am on aster fucking talk, and I cannot escape on my normal page. I don't know why I didn't do this on my second account. But that's on me, I guess. There was a trend in February of like women, I don't really know how to explain it, like women from back in the day saying, oh, what are you doing? And then people from today saying, I'm braiding my hair. And then people from 2,000 years ago saying, oh my god, we're still doing that, and to show like how things go through generations or whatever. I don't really know how to explain it. She says, I think I can't play it because of the song. Jane Austen in 1815, what are you doing? Pointing her on the shoulder. Me in 2023, oh, I'm writing a book, the first in the series. And then Jane Austen in 1815 says, women don't need to publish anonymously anymore. And if Jane Austen read the word starstick in your book, she would probably roll around in her grave. Peace and love. Like, like... I'm sorry, but it's like, Jane Austen? Is that who your idol is? Like, is that who you're trying to be? Because it's not working. It's like those people saying, oh my god, Jane Austen couldn't have written Lightlark, but Alex Aster could have written Pride and Prejudice. No! She couldn't have! Oh my god. Now, some other author who went to UPenn is Chloe Gong. Chloe Gong wrote These Violent Delights. I also have a review on that. That book sucks. And she's written more books now. More power to her. Love you. And now they're besties, okay? She's also besties with a bunch of other authors, like the one dude. Period. The one dude. He's written a contemporary book. I don't really know. He's also popular right now in booktok. Something with Sam. Not the name of the author, but the book. I've never read it. I won't read it. I don't really know. They're like a kind of like a trio, and they always post videos together. And she also, if you go into her comments, she has a lot of people who do book content, comment positive things, such as booktubers, booktokers, and other authors. So there's a lot of people encouraging her, which is a little sussy, but there's a lot of good reviews for her, even though I've never had like a genuine good review, or I've never heard of a genuine good review of her book, of Lightlark. Never. Like, all of the good reviews I've seen are from her friends. Not saying that people don't enjoy the book. Peace and love. I'm sure there are. Like, on German booktok, actually, because for some, I'm bilingual, I can check out all of it. People were saying, I actually like the book. And one time I went to the bookstore, and then I saw they have like a wall with books they recommend, the people who work at the bookstore. And first of all, someone had a darker, not a darker shade of magic, the other one. The one with the Firstophone and Hades retelling, A Touch of Darkness. They recommended that. Okay? That's how trustworthy they are. That book is a fucking piece of shit book. Sorry. Like, genuinely shit. And then someone recommended Lightlark, saying, this is the best book I've ever read. And I was like, I don't, like, it's not. I keep saying peace and love because, like, if you enjoy Lightlark, it's, like, not the worst book in the world, but there's just too much drama around it. I can't judge it objectively anymore. Alex Aster announces that she has sold the rights to her book pre-release, which got a lot of people sussy. People were like, how is that possible? It is apparently possible. I didn't know about it. Again, I'm not in publishing. I don't know anything about publishing. Victoria Aveyard, who has written the Red Queen series, actually came on TikTok and was like, yeah, this happens all the time. And I was like, bitch, you can't write, and your book has also been sold to movie writers, and nothing has happened. Shut up. So she got the rights. This is something she uses to promote her book all the time, where she's like, I sold the rights to my book to Universal, the same makers who made Twilight. Because apparently when the two publishers that were left that could publish Lightlark, and then it went up for auction, which apparently they auctioned who was gonna get it, because two people wanted it and then they auctioned or something. I don't really know. Universal, my accent. Okay, are you judging me for my accent? You want me to talk like this? I don't know what kind of accent that was. Maybe country? Howdy. People Universal reached out to read the book. She uses the terminology like this. Universal reached out to me to read the book, and they read it, and then they said they want to have it, and then they bought the rights to it. So all of Universal read it? Who read it? I want to talk to that person, because I don't agree with them. But just because it got sold to them, or the movie rights got sold to Universal, does not mean that it's actually ever going to happen. Even though I saw a TikTok of hers from this year where she said that there's going to be big movie news coming up. And I do think that it could be a good movie. No, actually I don't like the story. Maybe it's actually, I think it shouldn't exist. Anyway, sorry, that was a tangent. Sure, a movie, whatever, but I feel like there's much better books to adapt and much more beloved series to adapt other than Lightlark. But anyway, she sold those rights, and they're the makers of Twilight. She keeps mentioning that in every of her fucking TikToks. I think even in the one that I just read out to you, translated into 18 languages, it's being turned into a movie franchise is what it said, okay? But she mentions Twilight a lot, because she loves Twilight, I guess. So, what is the issue with her? I mean, can't you fucking tell? Haven't I explained it enough? Do I have to explain it more? Because I can. Now, this is all still pre-release, okay? Alex Aster promoted her book a lot. on TikTok, okay? Eventually, or essentially is the word I'm looking for, it is the TikTok algorithm that got her published. It's not because people are talking about, oh, she's an industry plant, her sister with her connections got her published, but I truly believe her when she says she got published not because of hard work, because she just posted a TikTok, but because of the TikTok, because it got millions of views, and she was already looking to get it published, and then those publishers saw the TikTok and saw how much resonance there was, and that's how she got published. I don't necessarily think her sister has any involvement in it. I do think, however, it is important to mention because that does make your life much easier, since her family also is really rich, and she also doesn't have any student loan debt, which is insane, I think. Well, then people were like, oh, we don't know if she had scholarships. She never mentioned that. Because for scholarships, I'm pretty sure you have to work really hard. You also have to work hard to get into an Ivy League. But if you come from a successful family, I think it's easier. Because you're like a legacy child. Listen, I watched those fucking videos about getting into schools, okay? I know my terms. So I think everything in America is just fucked up. But also, like, that includes the like university thing, like everything including university and college is just fucked up in America. So she doesn't have any student loan debt, which means she is getting support from her family, and she would post TikToks about like, oh, me struggling and my family watched me struggle and blah blah blah, and people could interpret that as people watched her or her family watched her struggle in life, when she just meant getting published, struggling getting published, because she would be sitting comfortably in that $2.5 million home without any student loan debt. You know what I mean? She was never as far as we can tell, she's never been in a situation that was like, I don't know how to pay my next bills or something. So you're not a struggling author. As far as we can tell, okay, allegedly, I don't want to get like in trouble, but I'm just saying. She has said multiple things on her TikTok where she, as I mentioned, kind of twists up her story. She changes her story up a lot. For example, about her agent. As I mentioned earlier, she got a new agent to publish Lightlark because, well, the question is, what is the truth here? She has said in a Guardian article that was published about her that she was dropped by her agent, her old agent, because her first book wasn't selling and was flopping. And on TikTok, she said that she was dropped by her agent because she wouldn't stop believing in Lightlark, and she tried so hard to get Lightlark published, and her last agent just didn't believe in her. So what is the truth? Did you get dropped because it flopped? Or did you get dropped because you didn't want to write anything besides Lightlark until that got published? What is the truth? We don't know. Maybe both is true. But she flip-flops around a little bit. She has also said that she was desperate to publish Lightlark, which led to her first TikTok. But in another TikTok, she said she was just bored at home. And then she made the TikTok, and then it got her published. So were you desperate or were you bored? Because the two can't coincide, I think. Desperate and bored can't coincide. The first one is fine, but the second one doesn't make sense. And she's also said that she's been dreaming of becoming an author, but has only ever gotten rejections for her books. I've been dreaming about becoming an author since I was 12, but all I've ever gotten was rejections, which just really plays into the whole, I'm going to pretend like I haven't published a duology before part, and make people believe this is my debut. Because you haven't only ever gotten rejections. You have a fucking duology published with the movies rights being sold to someone. I don't know to who. I don't know their names. And she just pretends like that doesn't exist. The TikToks I've watched of her, she's never promoted that, and I feel like that's kind of unfair to her other series. Promote that too. Why are you not promoting all of your work if you are doing such a good job promoting it, okay? Now, after her few TikToks, the arcs of the book start releasing. The arcs, those are advanced reader copies, in case you don't know. People get them sent to them, or they can, I think you can apply to get one on certain sites. I don't really know. I don't think it works the same for me, or I don't know if it works the same way for me because I'm not from America. I'm from Europe, more specifically Germany, so the only sponsors that I would ever, if I pop off and don't have to work as a cashier anymore, the only sponsors I would ever get would be German publishing houses, and obviously they publish the books in German, and I don't read in German, so that would be like useless for me, because I don't really like reading in German. It's so cringe. I feel like if you can read in the original language it was published in, you should definitely do that, because you can be closer to the author. That's just how I feel. I don't know. I don't really like reading in German. It's cringe to me. I don't know why. Just bilingual things. Anyway, so I don't know if I could ever get an ARC. I don't really know how that works. Sorry, I'm new to this. I'm not. I've been doing this for like 2 years. But anyway, the ARCs start releasing, and a lot of people read it. Or them. They read them. She has said in TikTok comments before that not that many ARCs were published, or not that many ARCs were printed. But the thing with ARCs, I think, is that even though it says on them, do not share, and like, if you share this, you're gonna go to jail, people don't care. They're gonna share it. They're gonna share not necessarily with the public, but with their friends, with people who ask, you know, people who ask nicely, especially if it's an ebook, a PDF. And so a lot of people read it, and they are saying, what the fuck is this? Because she has been promoting quotes and scenes on her TikTok, and I talk about this more in my review. I'm not gonna really talk about it here because I've talked about it before and I don't remember that well. But she promoted like tropes, quotes, and scenes, and they just didn't happen in her book or happened differently. And people pointed this out because if you publish or if you promote your book this much on social media, on TikTok, and the reason people want to read your book is basically the whole promotion you're doing is the reason people want to read your book. And that is what they're expecting. The quotes you are putting out is what you're expecting. And they're not in there. People are gonna fuck you up. And rightfully so, I think. Because you've been falsely advertising. And that is why people started saying this, but they weren't specific, I think. And then immediately people turned on her. It was like everyone was so excited for it, so positive, and then immediately, you know how TikTok is, people started becoming negative and going onto Goodreads and rating her book 1 star. I can look up now how it's rated, how many stars it has now. I rated it 1 star. I didn't like it, regardless of anything she did. Like, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about like backlash on a person and stuff. I don't really know on an author, because she has been receiving a lot of hate, but I think a lot of it is justified just because of the way she's presenting herself. The book, it was at some point, it had like a 2 point something, okay? At this point, it has a 3.71 star rating with 26,000 ratings. I don't think that's that much. Like, that's not that many ratings. Her duology, it has a 3.9, okay? So she's not that good of an author anyway. I don't really know the averages of rating. Like, if we go to The Soul and Air, I mean, that's a different thing. Well, it has a 4.1 star and it has 37,000 ratings. But yeah, so it's not even a 4-star rating, but at some point it was really, really low because people started going onto the Goodreads before the book released and started reading it 1 star without having read it, just because they were mad at her from what people were saying about it, saying that it didn't have the things that she promised, blah 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 blah. Now, I've talked about that in my video. I don't think that's right. People don't care if you rate a book 5 stars before it comes out. That is a thing. That's also something I don't think you should do, because you haven't fucking read the book. Like, people will go onto fucking Goodreads and rate every Sarah J. Maas book 5 stars, even if it hasn't released yet, and even if they don't know if it's ever gonna release. Just because it says untitled, they're gonna rate it 5 stars because they're so excited. Obviously, no one's gonna get mad at that, because 5 stars, everyone wants 5 stars, but 1 star, everyone's gonna get mad at. Rightfully so. I don't know how much publishers look at that, at your Goodreads rating, because I'm not a publisher. I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm gonna work into publishing. Maybe this is gonna, I don't think so. Like, I present myself really angrily on my channel. Like, I feel like I'm gonna start getting more positive. Don't worry, I'm always gonna hate. Alas, I think this doesn't need to be said. You should not rate a book before you've read it, period. Positively or negatively, but especially negatively, because, like, that's mean. It's mean. I've never rated a book I haven't read. Period. You know, why the fuck would I do that? Apparently, at this time, people also mentioned that her editor, which I don't know how you find out who someone's editor is. If I just Google now, Alex Aster editor, would I be able to find her, or them, or him, or whatever pronouns that person might be using. I can't find it. It doesn't pop up. But people started saying, and this is allegedly because I couldn't find any proof for this, that the editor would go into Reddit where people were talking about the lightlark controversy and her not including things and argue with the people on there. Like, for some reason. Like, defending it. Why? Like, is it that deep? It is that deep, but like, it's not actually. It's not that deep. I don't really know why they felt the need to that's so embarrassing. You know? It gives me the ick. Going on the Reddit, like, seeking it out and arguing. Let people form their opinion. Peace and love. You know what I mean? Anyway, I didn't like the book. I remember specifically that she promoted a scene that I also mentioned in my video where she said something like, when the main character rants about the king, how much she hates him, not knowing that the person she rants to is the king. And that is a scene that she promoted, and it made zero sense. Like, even, like, in the whole concept of the world, it made zero sense, because the main character always knew who everyone was, and she promoted that scene, and it just, I don't know how that could have even in any draft existed. So that's like the only thing I remember, really. But if you want to know more, you can watch those other videos. I'm gonna link them down below, or my video. Watch my video first, though. You can speed it up, you know, so you're done faster, but like, watch it. Thanks. She promotes her book as something that I don't really like, which is the Hunger Games. On my thumbnail for that video, I have written an insult to the Hunger Games because I just don't get it. She promotes it as ACOTAR beats Hunger Games, which at this point, everyone does promote their book as ACOTAR. Everyone. And she still does this today. She still says it's the Hunger Games, especially she still mentions that it's like the Hunger Games, and a lot of people went into it expecting the Hunger Games, and I think you should never compare your book to the Hunger Games, because that is peak fiction. Peace and love. Peace and love. I made my last podcast episode about the Hunger Games, but the movie coming out in November, I'm gonna be fucking shit up. I'm gonna be fucking shit up, bitch. I'm gonna tell everyone. I'm gonna take everyone. I'm gonna force my friends to go with me. I'm gonna force my boyfriend. I'm gonna force my fucking parents. Like, everyone's gonna fucking watch that movie. We love Suzanne Collins, okay? My queen. Also, Alex Ester's parents are Republican. I heard that in Reads with Rachel's video. Why is my brother screaming? Now, just because your parents are Republican doesn't mean you are Republican. Just because your family identifies a certain way politically doesn't mean you identify that way, but she's also a Leo. I'm not saying Leos are Republicans. I'm just, the things are adding up. So the Hunger Games, she said it was like the Hunger Games because the rulers go on the island to kill each other, but then they aren't allowed to kill each other until like the 30th day or the 50th day out of 100 days. I don't remember the specifics, and it's just really like, it doesn't make sense. Like, the Hunger Games doesn't make sense. ACOTAR, I think she was kind of, just because of the main male love interest, because he's like Rhysand. I think that is why she said ACOTAR. I don't really know. And because there was like different realms, and that's like the courts, but the essence, like, it doesn't have to do anything with either of those things, okay? Like, I don't really know if someone told her to promote it like that, or if she just kind of went ahead and did it her own. But I did find a comment earlier, because for some reason, y'all, and I don't really know how TikTok works. I remember I wanted to start my TikTok account, my book TikTok account, and I posted I posted a video where I was like talking about books that I didn't like, which is basically every book, and the first comment I ever got on that was, "You're really fucking mean," and then I just deleted that video. I just remembered that. I know, I just deleted it. I was like, okay, I can't take the hate. I can't handle it. Oh my god, TikTok is like a different space, you know. People are so savage on there. I love TikTok comments. I love them, which is why I was even more surprised by the fact that Alex Aster doesn't have any negative comments under her videos, at least none that I could find. Her videos get over 10,000 views per video, not 10,000 likes, but views at least. Some of them really pop off with millions of views. especially the book where she pitched Lightlark with that has like millions of views. I don't really know. We're gonna look it up. We're gonna have the specifics. But I went into her comments and I was just scrolling and scrolling. And something that she does is she replies to basically every comment. She likes it or she replies to it. Like, you will always find her replying to it. And I think that's something her sister told her for like promotion, because then people feel more included and like she actually saw me. Whether it's actually her or she has like someone who does it for her isn't. Ist eine andere Frage. Should I just start talking Denglish? Do you want me to talk German and English at the same time? You're just gonna have to guess what I just said. No, I just said it's a different question. I'm gonna translate it for you. But I would assume she's doing it herself, because she seems to be having a lot of time. If this is the kind of books she produces, like, she must have a lot of time, because this doesn't take a lot of effort. But the pitch has 2.5 million views. Did I just say that in English or German? I don't really know. 2.5. I'm not listening to myself. I'm tuning myself out. 2.5 million views on the pitch for the book, and 400,000 likes, which is not that much, I feel like. I have a TikTok that has over 1 million views, bitch, and no one's ever asked me if I want to publish a book. So how do I get that going? I don't really know. But alas, back to TikTok comments. I was scrolling and scrolling, seeing that she replied to a lot of them. So either she deletes back comments, she limits them, she has like words banned, so that if you comment that word, it doesn't appear, the comment doesn't appear. I don't really know how many restrictions you can do on TikTok. Or you just can't find, or she doesn't have any, or you just can't find them because she replies to so many of the good ones. But I went to one of her comments for some video, I don't really know, trying to find any that had like a lot of views, you know. The search, first of all, is Alex Aster controversy. And someone asked, is it like the Hunger Games? This was in April, the beginning of April. And she comments back, it's more court politics, romance, and less violence. And then someone commented back, oh my god, then I definitely need to read it. So now she's not saying, yes, it's like the Hunger Games, or yes, it's inspired by the Hunger Games, even though she's been promoting it that way. But she's saying, it's more court politics, which I don't really know any of the politics that happen in that fucking book. Do you remember? Do you remember from reading it? Romance and less violence. It's definitely a romance book. I would not say that it's court politics and less violence. There are random violent scenes that are like really vile and like graphic. And it's YA still. Okay, whatever. She also promoted that it was a POC story, a person of color story, and that it was spicy. I cannot find these TikToks. Like, I looked it up, but I couldn't find it. The spicy comment, a lot of people said that. Now, I don't know if this was because they heard someone else said it or because they actually saw her promoting it like that. But it's really weird because there's no spice in this book. There's one scene, I think. I could be confusing it with these Hollow Vows, because all of the ACOTAR inspired books just bleed together with the evil, dark character, main character, where she's like horny and then she gets fingered in the shower. Which book was that again? That's like every book on TikTok. It's like so generic. But that was like the only spicy scene. And people, I do think this happened, that she was promoting it as spicy, like the first spicy young adult book, because people were mad at her for this, because they don't want spice in young adult, which I agree with this? Yeah. I've kind of like, I read young adult, but I think it's okay if you have like, I mean, sex is a thing that happens, and I think young adult people who read young adult, you kind of start reading that when you're like 14, 15, you start exploring your sexuality a little bit more. I mean, you are 14, you are still very young. I don't think you should be having sex at 14, peace and love. That's not what I'm saying, but you're getting more curious maybe because you're getting into puberty. And so if you have scenes that are non-descriptive and it's just like hinting at it and like, you know, not really in depth, and like in German you would say durch die Blume. Durch die Blume. How do I translate that? It's like, it means through the flower, but you don't fucking know what that means. It means like, it's like, there's description around it, but it's not explicitly said. I think that's fine, but you don't need to be saying cock, penis, pussy. You don't need to be saying that. You don't need to be saying that. And the whole POC thing, I mean, she herself is a person of color. She is Colombian and American because her mom's Colombian, and she is, however, white passing. You know, she looks like a white woman, and she has said that Spanish was her first language, and then she had got like the Spanish cover of Lightlark, and she started crying. She was like, "Now finally, my family can read this." But then she makes TikToks about like writing spicy quotes, like getting people undressed, and I'm like, oh my god, my family's gonna read this. So what do you want? Do you want them to read it or not? I don't know. I think if I wrote a book, I wouldn't want my parents to read it, except if it was like, what the fuck was the first word that came into my mind? Manifesto. I wanted to say like a biography. My manifesto? What the fuck would I be writing about? Now, the issues on the POC thing, I can't really talk about because I'm a white woman in Germany, bitch. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say? I only know that the main character is supposed to be Latina. She's supposed to be of color. It's not really... well, it is talked about, but the way she talks about it is kind of weird, where she calls her a savage, which is like, why the fuck would you do that? And then also, like, she's like this sexy seductress stereotype, which could be considered harmful. Again, I'm not one to judge that. That's someone who is actually Latina, like, in that space. That's for you to judge if you find that, like, offensive. But she also has a main black character who's gay. That's like the token black gay character, and I hate that. Why the fuck do people always, when they write, there's one black character and he's also gay, or she's also gay? It's always the black person, because they have to do like kill one bird with two stones. That's a little bit excessive. 2 birds with 1 stone. What the fuck? I don't really know how the saying goes. I want to do an idiom and I don't know them. And that's like a sideline character. So she was like kind of promoting it to be a vocal point of her story, but then she uses weird descriptive language that doesn't seem appropriate. And then the black character is also gay and he's just sidelined. He doesn't really have any fucking relevance in the book. So how much of a POC story is it really? Or did she mean like it's published by a POC? But she doesn't really talk about herself being POC. She's like, yeah, I'm Latina and indigenous, but like... and she doesn't really talk about that, so I don't think that's what she meant, but I don't really know. I just wanted to mention that, like, it adds to the list of controversies. Eventually, she, after the book is published, okay, she gets invited, or maybe before that, I actually don't know. She gets invited to Good Morning America or something like that. It's like a talk show. I don't really know. Like, does anyone care about talk shows that play in the morning? Good morning? Like, why are you up this early? Does anyone watch this besides, like, your mom and dad? I don't know how big of a part this is of American culture. But she was also, like, promoting her book. And she was also on the Kelly Clarkson show, which I know Kelly Clarkson. I don't know why she has a show. Shouldn't she be fucking singing? I don't really know. She was promoting the book. Christian Bell was also on that. She's an actress. And then she was like she was explaining her book. It's about an island that appears every 100 years, and 6 rulers have to fight to break their deadly curses. And then Kelly Clarkson goes, I'm sold, or something like this. She was like, sign me up, or something like this. And then Christian Bell, for whatever reason, she's fucking there. What does she have to do with Lightlark? She goes, oh, no. Alex goes, oh, it's also going to be a movie. And then Christian Bell goes, can I be casting it? When are you casting? Christian Bell, I know damn right you don't fucking care. I know damn right you don't care. And see, this is why I could never be like a public figure, like in acting and shit. Because I cannot care. Like media training, I do not give a fucking fuck. If there was like a random ass person sitting there talking about their book, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, when are you casting? Because I know she's saying that because like she was trained and everything. It's like to make it more interesting, but I was like, oh my god, I don't care. Like this book sounds ass, I would tell you. Now I can't even fucking speak. Sorry. But I think that she was just kind of like the same as with her music career. She was kind of trying everything. She was really hustling in that sense, that she was really trying to get popular. Because I don't really see any other authors going to Good Morning America. Or what the fuck is this noise? Is this like a thunderstorm? What the fuck is going on? I'm gonna have a word with the thunderstorm. What the fuck? That's not a thunderstorm. That's my fucking neighbor. They just got wood delivered. But why do they get wood delivered in fucking May? It's not like chop wood. It's like wood logs that you have to chop yourself. I don't really know if any other author has ever been on the Kelly Clarkson show. I feel like there are so many big authors that don't go to these lengths to promote their book. And you could argue like, okay, She's a new author. She's taking every chance to promote her book, but she's fucking annoying. Like, it's getting on my fucking nerve because people keep saying like, love her or hate her. She figured out the marketing game, but it's like, do you want people to think you're doing slay, or do you want people to think you're annoying? Because you're making me think you're annoying. Also, her whole personality is the fact that she has achieved all this. Like, she always does the same. You're in Forbes under 30, you're a young author under 30 with a movie deal, 18 languages, blah blah blah. She always says the same stick, and I feel like that's her whole personality trait, which is like fair enough. Like, if that happened to me, I would also be proud, but I don't know if I would be that annoying. Maybe it's because she's a Leo, and also she eats her cereal weird, and she does the same TikToks over and over again, guys. Like, if you go onto her TikTok right now, you will see the same, like, if you scroll a little bit, you will see the same TikTok with the exact same quotes multiple times. And that's annoying. You know what I mean? Like, can you think of something new? Like, she is so, and I want to talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about it now. She is so closely connected with her book, so intertwined with her story and her book. You cannot judge the two of them, in my opinion. If you're this deep in, you cannot judge them separately, because she doesn't promote her book on her socials. She promotes herself. She doesn't say, my main character does this and this. She always uses the same generic blurb with every 100 years, 6 rulers, fight, blah blah blah. She never says, this is my main character, these are the side characters. She only ever uses like, when the villain says this, blah blah blah. But she does not talk about her story, because it's empty, because there's nothing there to be talked about. And other authors don't do this. For example, Chloe Gong, her friend who published These Violent Lives, she is also a big media presence, or at least on TikTok, but she isn't the way, or she doesn't promote it the way Alex does, where she's like promoting herself, saying, look at what I did, look what I achieved. It's more like she promotes her characters and her stories. She actually talks about them and what makes them so great. And I feel like Alex doesn't care that it's Lightlark that got published. She just cares that she got published and she's now at this point, because maybe, this is me speculating, she was feeling a little bit left out because her family is so successful with the car dealership, and her sister is so successful, like a millionaire, and she had nothing going for herself. And now she can say, I'm big, I did it too. And she's like, and she's annoying. Like, do you understand what I mean? She's promoting herself on her TikTok, not her work. I cannot judge it separately now, because you are your work now. It's always judge the artist separately from the art. It's not possible for you. It's not possible anymore. Also, she literally also started to have an acting career, maybe, because when I also found this out in Rachel's, we can call each other by our first name, in Rachel's video, that she would star in local commercials for the car dealership from her parents. Her and her sister would star in the commercials, and Rachel included some of those commercials, so check out her video. And maybe she wanted to do acting at some point, like nothing else. She did not know other acting or anything, but she's very much involved in that business, you know what I mean? So I hope you get what I mean when I say that she doesn't promote her book, she promotes herself, because this whole video, I've been talking about her, but I've also been talking about Lightlark, and all you know, if you haven't read the book, is that it's about an island that appears every 100 years where 6 rulers have to fight to break their deadly curses. And that's all you know. You don't know the main character's name. You don't know the love interest's name, because she doesn't fucking mention it on her fucking TikTok. She doesn't fucking mention it. It doesn't fucking matter. It just matters that she's a New York Times bestselling author with a movie deal, and she's making a lot of fucking money. So the worst part about this is the book is literally ass. It's period. Like, it's period. It's ass. Period. 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 Very mediocre, okay? And as I said now, she has written the duology, the middle grade new duology. And in my review also, obviously, if you want to know really what the book is about, watch the fucking review. I'm just promoting myself. But it reads like a middle school novel. Like, it doesn't read much different from what you would read at like 10. You know what I mean? Besides those violent things and maybe, I don't know if she uses explicit language, but, or the one almost sex scenes, it's not much different, because she uses terminology, like, the way, she has words to describe the things in her book, like a star stick, which is her teleportation stick, to make her just teleportation stick. It's called star stick. Or the people are called nightlings and moonlings and sunlings, and those are the different chords, the equator chords or realms. And it's very, like, the writing just isn't good, you know? And obviously you don't have to expect the best writing, but she has written this book apparently for 10 years. And it is properly published by a proper publisher with an editor. Now, she has said that she's written this for 10 years, which gives us two theories, I think. Because either she has had the idea for 10 years, and the pitch for 10 years, like the first few chapters, and has tried to get that published, and then it didn't work. So she made the TikTok, and it picked up, and then went off for auction, and someone bought it, and then she had to write the full book, and because truth be told, like, she's comparing it to Ecotar, and the main male love interest, Grimshaw, is his name, and she calls him Grim, which is literally like Reese Sand, but he's called Reese. It's literally the same thing. You're trying to tell me she had that idea for 10 years? Like, before Reason even existed, she had the idea, and then she pitches it as Ecotar? I think she had the first few chapters written, maybe, with Grimm had like a different name or something. And then she had to rush and finish the book, and she didn't really have it figured out. Like, she had a rough idea, but she had to write it, actually. She had to sit down and write it now, besides only having the first few chapters. Or the other theory is she couldn't be convinced to make any changes, because it reads like a middle school novel. So it would make sense that she wrote the full book at like 12 years old or 15 or whatever she said. I think it was 15, where she uses words like starstick and sunling, and then she just could not be convinced to make any changes because she was so attached to the original, like, draft. But I don't think that's the case. I truly think she didn't have it finished, like, when she pitched it and then it got sold and everything picked up, and then she actually had to sit down and write it, and write a first draft. But I still don't understand why things like starstick went through. I still don't know. I don't know why the editor didn't say don't do that. Like, give it a name. Give it a magical name, but not Starstick. Because it's not good. I think it would be fair for me to read out a review to you, a 5-star review on Goodreads, that you will see. This is supposed to be an objective review. It's by someone called Calvin, and I think on TikTok he's called Calvin Books. I don't know who he is, but I did see people comment like, how much did you get paid for this? But he does say, this is my completely honest and sincere review. I don't know if you got paid for this. I don't know. Okay, you can make up your own mind. But people have said, I'm losing my trust in you. This is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. I don't know who he is. I don't know what content he makes. Just maybe if you know him, you know, just for context. So I'm going to read out the review to you. It's 3 paragraphs, and, I read fast. And then we're going to talk about the review, okay? So you also know, I don't know actually if he explains it that well, but it was more of like he likes the book, he gave it 5 stars, and he defends Alex. That's more of the vibe for this review, okay? So, because a lot of people were reviewing it negatively, and then people were like, you are hating on Alex, she's also just a person, but, I mean, she put herself in this situation, so... Let me drink. And then, cheers. Drink your water. This is my completely honest and sincere review of this book. Yes, I have rated this book 5 stars, and no, I am not lying. I read this book within 2 days, and it genuinely surprised me. I'ma be honest with y'all, I did not think I would love this book. I went in, I don't know how he speaks, so maybe he has like a southern accent. I went in not expecting much at all. But this book, despite the many claim, is very well written. what many claim is very well written. The author went to one of the most prestigious writing and English programs in the world at her Ivy League school, and has been working as a professional editor for years, which I didn't know. The writing is beautiful, but still managed to be simple and easy to understand, which I really enjoyed. You're thrown right into the story and plot, which I appreciate, especially in fantasy books, because oftentimes at the start they can be hella boring. Towards the middle of the book, things do slow down and there are some filler chapters. That doesn't mean they were bad, it just means that the pace of the book slowed down for a star. A little bit. For a little bit, not for a star. However, it is the ending that earned this book its fifth star. I generally thought I had the book figured out and that I totally predicted what would happen. This confidence I had in my predictions made the countless plot twists towards the end even more shocking. It genuinely had me questioning reality. If you like young adult fantasy, you should definitely consider giving this book a chance. Keep in mind that he said this author went to one of the most prestigious writing programs, has been a professional editor for years, and also that the writing is beautiful and easy. Still easy, but beautiful. Keep in mind that he said that. Last paragraph. I have seen many people review and criticize this book as if it was meant to be peak of literature. Aster has not written the next Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. She has also not written the next great romance novel. I see so many reviewers who only read rom-coms, fiction, or smut negatively rate this book. You all have to understand that this is a young adult novel. This was not written for literary critic wannabes. It was written for 13-year-old kids. Of course it'll be a little cringy. That's how these books are supposed to be written. If you go in expecting the next great literary masterpiece, of course you will be disappointed. Also, to the hundreds of people who rebel-bombed... What the fuck is rebel-bombed? This book, even though they have not read it, fuck you. Okay. I think he might have meant review-bombed with 1-star reviews. But just to analyze this review, he said she went to one of the most prestigious programs. She went to an Ivy League. She's been an editor. She knows how to write. She writes beautifully. But it's still cringy. So what is it? And also, just because it's young adult and written for 13-year-olds, does that mean it has to be cringy, like you said? Doesn't mean it has to be cringy. Do 13-year-olds only get to read cringy things? If she really is such a prestigious writer who's been working as an editor, why shouldn't she write something that's really good and not cringy that 13-year-olds could still read and enjoy? There are young adult series that are written well for 13-year-olds, you know what I mean? That even people who are a little bit older enjoy. Also saying only read rom-coms, fiction, or smut, and like in that sense kind of like putting all of those people into one box and saying they can't read. That's kind of how I interpreted it. He doesn't say that, but it's like kind of how I see it. He's like saying, okay, you don't even know, like you don't know what you're reading here. Like you're expecting something super great, super crazy. It's not true. You know, people who read smut still read proper books that have smut in it. They are aware that it's young adult, but just because it's young adult, it has to be bad or what? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Does it make any fucking sense? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So people were like, what the fuck was that? She's coming for me. So people were like, how much did she pay you for this? Apparently someone said that he also gets sent gifts by her, or like special editions or something. I don't really know if that's true. Alas, the book is bad. Okay, it's poorly written. The writing style is easy and simple, that's true, but it's not good. For someone who's been working on this for 10 years and then got an editor, and if she has been working as a professional editor, it's not good. Period. Point blank, period. She also has posted multiple TikToks of this kind where she explains that, I'm going to read it out to you. Me, an author who cannot see clear images when she reads and just hears the sentences in their head. And then I wrote in my notes underneath, maybe this is why your books are bad. Because like, people love, there's people out there who cannot imagine like visual things, like a movie in their head when they're reading or something, you know, images. But it's kind of weird to me that you are that kind of person and then you're an author. Because like, how do you write? How do you imagine your things? How do you do anything? Like, you cannot, how do you describe anything if you can't see it in your head? Like, people who only see sentences in their head can still describe things, but she's describing something that isn't there, that she's never seen. She's describing something fictional. You know what I mean? If you're describing an apple, obviously you can still do that even if you don't see it in your head because you know what a fucking apple is. But she's describing things that aren't there. So maybe that's why her books are bad, I think. Allegedly. She also has a TikTok where she said it's wrong to name villains in your books after people who have wronged you. And she does that. She's like, oh my god, I can name people in my, like, the villains after people who I don't like. She has multiple TikToks on this. And my comment on her is this Grimshaw, question mark? Who the fuck is named Grimshaw? Who do you know named Grimshaw? Why the fuck, like, Oro is the other person's name? And Oro, like, what? Doesn't make any sense. So if you go onto her TikTok, if you want to look for yourself, she literally posts the same things multiple times. Like, these two TikToks that I just read out, she has posted, like, this year multiple times with, like, a little bit differently quoted. That's the end of her controversy. I mean, her second book is coming out this year. I'm not sure when. I think November. And it's called Night Bay. I will be reading it, obviously. I gotta read it. I have to see if she maybe got better, and if she does, I obviously will say that. Like, I give her the benefit of the doubt, but she has no negative comments on her TikTok. I don't get it. And people say not to judge her off of her social media and how she presents herself, but how else am I supposed to judge her? Like, she presents herself as kind of like not very good. She doesn't present herself very good. You know what I mean? And how else am I supposed to judge her if this is all the information I have? I'm going to judge her off of all the fucking information I have. And she seems to be trying to fit into this, like, I'm a poor author bracket because she knows it's relatable, and a lot of people are now publishing or self-publishing. There's a lot of indie authors, and I've seen comments under her videos where they were like, are you an indie author, blah blah blah, are you self-publishing and now you're traditionally published, and what's your story? But at the end of the day, she already had a published series. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not her first rodeo, as you would say in America. Yeehaw! Like, she's published a duology before. She just kind of throws it under the rug. I'm using a lot of, like, idioms here. And I feel like she's trying to fit into that niche because it's really popular. And it just doesn't fit her. She's come from wealth. And just because her family is rich does not mean, like, that she had the connections that eventually got her published. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that her sister is the reason she has a successful book series now. Maybe the whole reason is TikTok. But we can't really say. I think it's TikTok. I don't think her sister paid her for that. But she did come from wealth. She doesn't have any student loan debt. She lives comfortably at home. She comes from a rich family. She wasn't struggling. She wouldn't have, like, at the end of the day, she would have, like, taken over the car dealership if everything would have failed. You know what I mean? And I think she was, like, auf Teufel komm raus, as the Germans would say. Auf Teufel komm raus did she try to get into the spotlight, like, in any type of way. That's the feeling I get from her, just personally. That was a German idiom that means the devil is coming out. Like, she really, really forced it. Like, she was just trying everything. That's kind of what it means. You're learning a lot in this video, I know, in this podcast. So, I think everything has been said. She is, in my opinion, super annoying with her marketing. People are like, oh, she's understood the marketing game. She knows what she's doing. She does know what she's doing, but she's super annoying. And I think it just feels like, to me, that she doesn't believe in her story enough to promote it, period, to promote the story, because she's promoting herself. She's saying, I'm a New York Times bestselling author. It's been translated into 18 languages. It's so good that it has a movie deal. I'm so successful. I'm such a good writer. But what is your book about? Like, what is it? Like, what's happening? Like, can you give me any information besides the fucking island appears every 100 years for no fucking reason with the fucking curses that suck ass? I don't even know what the curses are. I don't know the main character. Like, do character introductions or something. Promote your book. But she's promoting it in a way that's just, like, getting on your last fucking nerve, and she won't shut up about it. She won't shut up, and then people are like, oh, maybe she's just proud. Like, she is proud. She's a Leo. It's kind of like a superficial marketing, you know what I mean? Because you don't really know what the book is about. But she's found her niche, you know what I mean? We'll see with her second book how well it's gonna do. I'm gonna read it. I don't know if there's gonna be I mean, I think people are kind of... I thought people were kind of over it, but then I saw that the TikToks were like 1 day old talking about her, so I was like, maybe people aren't over it. And I thought it would be nice to talk about it because I saw her on my fucking TikTok and I was like, oh my god, this bitch is still around. She's still around, she's still going. Second book's coming out. No mention of her duology. Fuck that duology. Maybe it sucks ass. I don't really know. She should, like, maybe get back to singing. She should make, like, a single to promote her book. No, I don't really know, guys. You can tell me what you think in the comments below. If you think she's annoying, because she's just annoying me. You know, with her... And it's like, I'm not even seeking it out. It's not like I'm actively going on her page and looking if she's still posting that. She comes onto my For You page. She crawls onto it. And she's like, she's latching on, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh my god, please. I know I've read your book. I'm not gonna order it now at Barnes & Nobles, or whatever the fuck she says, and Walmart, or whatever. I'm not. I read it. Of course I paid for it. I really wanted to make this video. I think it turned out longer than I expected, but I just had a lot to say. And there's a lot to say about her. About Miss Alex Aster. Again, like, I don't hate her. I just think she's annoying. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever. Like, I couldn't care less, but she was getting on my nerves, so I had to talk about her. But at least, at the end of the day, she's successful. She's a published author. She's slaying. She has her second book coming out. The movie did sold to Universal with the makers of Twilight. Like, she's more successful than I am. She's not working at the fucking cash register doing beep 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 all fucking day. She's done more than me. So peace and love out to her. Keep doing you, girl. Maybe a little bit less annoying. Like, maybe start talking about your book instead of yourself. People will maybe enjoy that. But more advice I can't really give you because I'm also annoying. You know what I mean? We're in the same boat. So, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna take a nap. Maybe. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. But I think the first thing I'm gonna do is put some cream on my fucking nose because it's really sore. And rest up. Rest easy. No, that you say that to someone who's dead, right? Oh my god. I'm just gonna rest without the easy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your opinions in the comments below. Watch my video, my review. Watch all of my videos. I made playlists if you care, with all of the rants and like sorted out. You know, you can just watch them, watch the playlist, watch my videos all day if you've not got nothing to do. Tell your friends to subscribe to me. Let's check if I got 2,000 subscribers by now. Probably not. Where the fuck would they be coming from now, randomly? Oh my god, it's still refreshing, guys. Oh my god, guys. 2 more. I need 2 more subscribers. Tell your friends, tell your mom. Tell your mom to subscribe to me. And then we have 2,000 subscribers, and then we're gonna throw a party. And we're gonna make a 2,000 subscriber special. I don't really know what we're gonna do. I'm kidding. I don't know if I'm gonna do one. Should I do one? Should I read 2,000 pages in 1 day for 2,000 subscribers? Anyway, sorry, I'm just rambling now. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Please follow me on Instagram. I will let you know once I get access to it. So I have to fucking take care of that. And on my TikTok. And maybe I'll see you in my next video and in my next podcast. Bye bye.